This match could not be between two teams who are any closer ranked. Seed number 6 versus seed number 7, and it seems like the only way we're going to be able to separate them is to see who can go through to the rival series undefeated. We are going to be having an incredible match over here. We've already had one over Game 5, maybe? Please?
Well, that was our first Game 5 we just saw in the first matchup, and these are even closer seeds because the first match was number 8 and number 4 seed, so a little bit more of a spread. I mean, the seeds, you shouldn't like define a team by them, but it is definitely a way to see how they perform in a tournament like this, because this is, you know, taking how their performance is leading up the closest to this tournament, prior to this tournament, I should say.
Yes.
So number 7 and number 6, to see them this close, I'm excited to see if they're going to be able to go through that pressure really quickly, because we saw teams kind of open up towards Game 3, Game 4, and start to become a little more themselves sometimes.
Absolutely. And I just want to point out that there's like some sort of external force out there, because I mentioned the wall of Waffle during the previous matchup, and then he turns up right now in this game. So I want to explain that one a little bit. He had a game in Gfinity, and we've seen defensive performances before. I've never seen a defensive performance. I think he was at like 16 to 17 saves by the end of the series.
Good God.
That's how much defense he had to play, and they won that match. That's the reason why it was impressive. We would never have acknowledged it if they didn't end up doing that. But we've got a lot of Gfinity players in here as well. Al Dente and McLovin played a very reasonable amount, I believe. Like, McLovin was a substitute along with Al Dente, so they didn't get much time to shine on that stage. But if there was ever a time for them to shine, this is it. A spot in the rival series on the line, as we're going to be seeing PLACEBO take on TaxiBell. Starting us off on DFH Stadium, as we see Friss right now, a name that some of you also out there might be familiar with. A substitute back in Season 2. Would love to be more than that right now, as Didris wants to try and cause some sort of hassle. Frizz just going to leave that one for Waffle instead, as McLovin goes off the backboard. Can't quite get the follow-up as Frizz is there, and a booming shot down to the other end of the field. Al Dente has to cut that out in the midfield. Now Frizz looking for Waffle on the wall. Not quite good enough for the pass. Waffle was already in a very difficult position to aim for. We see both these teams going back and forth to start us off in this matchup, which to be expected, really. Both these teams not really going to go too far with their creativity with so much on the line.
I'm still mentally prepping for the fact that I'm casting a game with players named Al Dente, McLovin, and Waffle all in the same game.
It's absolutely great, isn't it? As Gods Miller now clears over. Al Dente puts it straight down, can turn it in. What a goal to start us off.
I didn't think he'd get this angle. Not that I didn't think he was good enough, but this is so hard to get right around Frizz and Waffle as well. Going for the far post, almost bouncing out, nearly missing. Incredible shot from Al Dente to open up this series.
Now they need to build upon that. That is certainly a great way of introducing yourself to the game, but now they need to keep that consistency up. Idris puts that straight down and immediately responded. Great setup from Didris.
Just when you think you got it, the other team's reminding you they might got it too. I don't know, there's a catchphrase in there somewhere.
I don't know any of those sort of catchphrases, dude.
Kickoff goals, hooray!
I do want to point out, though, just how smart he was, because whenever we usually see players go up like that, they either try and take the ball down or they try and bounce off the backboard. He kept going up. I just went, yeah, if I keep going up, it's going to go down eventually. It'll probably be a good spot.
Gravity.
It's your friend, apart from when it's not. Gravity might be the most neutral enemy you can ever meet in your life. That was Al Dente. Going to be forced to watch as Gravity keeps that ball up in the air for a very long time, so instead he stole away some boost. Got Miller putting it over in the corner. Everyone so grouped up right now for TaxiBell, but Didris manages to break away from the trio, get himself up on the wall, and take the save.
When you see 3 people that close to the back wall and in the corner, you probably want to smack it off as fast as you can and pretty hard, hoping you have a teammate there, because you want to separate it from your opponents. But the touch off the backboard was a little bit too gentle, and TaxiBell were able to defend that when it looked pretty dire for them.
McLovin wants to take the ball long. They're basically passing the ball straight back. Every single time you sort of launch those sort of balls, you're effectively giving up possession. It's almost always your only option, except if you want to take the ball down for a dribble. McLovin rocking that Venom, a card that has only really come into the light ever since there was some car adjustments, now using a hybrid hitbox, sort of a mixture between the Dominus and the Octane. Frizz gets himself up off the crossbar. Follow-up is not there as Al Dente smothers Didris.
Frizz knew he had to keep that shot high, but I think it was maybe a little bit too quick for him to get there. Wasn't able to put it directly on target.
Oh, Al Dente's made a mistake here in Waffle, unable to read it as well. It's that small part of that wall that you just can't ever predict. So annoying to work with. Now Waffle looking for the setup. Almost got the pinch. Frizz ended up jumping. Didris as the third man. Might have needed to do more there, but Frizz comes through, gets the pass over to Didris again. Player taken out. Frizz unable to kill the ball. He did have Waffle over as a shadow player. Now McLovin stealing the ball boost away rather than the ball. Al Dente takes the shot. Still dangerous. Frizz actually, that second touch might have saved him just then. Able to push it further into the corner. Not allow the follow-up shot to happen.
I think it forced Godsmiller to slow down, trying to read where that second touch was going. Even if both teams didn't know where it was going, I'd rather that when it's that close to net. I hope no one knows where this is going as opposed to everybody.
Oh, that's a poor touch from Waffle, taking it away from Frizz. Didris has to come through and help. But this extended period of pressure is all down to that one mistake, finally clearing the ball away. Didris wants to try and get a challenge, but McLovin is there first. Still all tied up with 1 minute and 13 seconds remaining.
Waiting to see this wall of Waffle you're toting about, but not a lot of shots from either team right now.
I think their team would rather not see the wall of Waffle because that means that they have no control over the series.
I mean, he's earned a name for it. You probably wanted to bring it out, right? This is strength.
Maybe. Absolutely maybe.
But no, definitely not.
I think he would like to be known as the Lethal Waffle or something else, just for the amount of goals he puts in. The Wall of Waffle is not the greatest nickname you can have.
Lethal Waffle doesn't sound a whole lot better.
It also sounds like you've just sort of gone off, really, past your expiration date. I can tell you right now, Waffle is anything but past his expiration date.
Demolition to try and keep control. He actually just opts to not go for that, trusting Waffle's contest.
Oh, McLovin managed to take out 2 as well. Gets bumped for his trouble. Actually means he's going to already be in position to take the ball over. Now Godsmiller takes it all the way down to the other end of the field. Was hoping Frizz might make a mistake. 18 seconds now. Still nothing to break either of these teams. We said they were close in seeding. They're also close in scoreline right now, so we might just need an overtime to separate them. Waffle is going to possibly have the final opportunity, but ends up landing on the ball. He's not going to be able to do too much with that. And Godsmiller, is he really going to try something with this? In your own defense, that could be very risky. Still up in the air, McLovin. We managed to transition it. Godsmiller might be proven to be a genius. But instead, the ball does touch the floor, and we're heading to overtime.
Just noticed McLovin's using X-Devil?
I brought this up earlier.
Yeah.
It's also the Venom.
Oh,
and it's also
the Venom. Yeah, you're right. And it's also a goal.
A lot of things happened just there. We discovered great new things. We discovered what a car is, and we discovered that McLovin knows how to try and cheat a kickoff.
A kickoff goal.
Hey, we've got to separate them somehow, dudes.
A kickoff goal gives them the winning shot in the first game. I don't think anyone's proud about that. No one really likes kickoff goals. Even people that make the kickoff goals don't like kickoff goals. They don't feel great, but sometimes it happens.
So I mean, we're just going to see like Twitter later on if they win with a kickoff. McLovin just posts on there just going,
yeah. And it'll be like, you idiot, it's a Venom.
Yeah. Absolutely. I'm going to continue on right now with my little history lesson on the players we're seeing on right now.
Please do.
Because there is another player that we haven't mentioned right now who might have had the most recent success and the biggest success. That is Godsmiller, a player who went over to DreamHack Leipzig and had the biggest upset of the entire tournament, playing as part of London eSports, taking down Team Envy in what was a massive upset and really got us all questioning Envy a lot more. But the fact that they had a terrible first game in that series and then bounced back with 2 straight, Godsmiller's a player on that team that you're looking at just going, he's got mental fortitude. He knows how to keep himself calm.
I mean, he's been playing for as long as I can remember. I think I saw him on the leaderboard preseason, season 1. I don't know what it was. I know he's been playing for a very, very long time.
I think he played in the very first RLCS play-ins. I think we did a practice tournament to make sure Smash GG could be able to run for it.
Yeah.
I believe he played in that.
He played
so we did like a 2s tournament.
He played in the practice tournament
yes.
to qualify for the very first tournament we've done here for the RLCS.
Yes.
Yeah. He's been playing for a very long time, which would explain why he can keep his composure.
See, I only want to bring that up because I won it.
Oh, okay.
I got a hoodie for that. I was so happy.
Humble brag. You got a hoodie for winning a tournament?
Yes, that's the most I've ever won.
And that is your career salary right there. That is your Rocket League career salary is a hoodie.
Hey, I need to get in contact with some of my boys, see if I can get that on like my retired player.
So is there
area.
anything special that we saw in that? I mean, again, it felt like a feeler game a little bit. We saw a couple of really good moments, not so great moments, some kickoff goals, which generally, if you don't have any sort of form of attack on kickoff, or at least just an idea of where people are going to go, you're going to get caught off in situations like that. All it takes is one person cheating. It's like, oh no, we didn't have anyone prep for this.
Yeah, the big problem when you do cheat up, because for those of you watching this are just like, okay, well, what do you really mean by that? When you cheat up, it means that they've got a second player who is not going for the kickoff, waiting around for the ball, and then he's going to try and take it after that. When you lose the kickoff and the ball goes up high or goes behind the cheating player on your team, that's terrible for you, but the opposing team's just going, I have all of the area in the world to work with right now, and can go through and use it. We saw it in the last game when the ball went really high up. Player on the blue team can't go and cheat for it.
Yeah.
Player on the orange team is just going, I am having this one, my friend.
I hate cheating up. Like, whenever I play,
Are you a double boost guy?
I don't know, but I don't care. I'll get pads. I don't care what it is. I just hate cheating up. I don't know what it is. I'm super uncomfortable with it.
So if we were to restart Rocket League again, would you take it in form of like air hockey, where the person that just conceded automatically has the ball? Would that be better for you?
No, I just don't like cheating.
I'm
not comfortable with it.
There's no winning with you, Carpet.
I'm just that
There's
confident
no winning
with my defense. I just know I'm that good on defense.
I'm not listening to you anymore. Impossible. You really are impossible.
You have no choice for the rest of the series.
Oh, you're right about that one. But at least I have some phenomenal entertainment to help me get through that torture. As Didris and the rest of Taxi Bill want to try and bounce back from their previous loss. PLACEBO taking it off the kickoff goal, as I see Carpet twitch. And that could be an incredible start. Godsmiller causing so much panic. But the follow-up, not quite there. Still a very good show of intent.
Gentle touch to the corner, but didn't cut off much of an angle.
Glovin.
Nice clear.
Going to see more and more back and forth play. I believe having that break there as well would just sort of reset them mentally and just go, okay, we're probably going to go back to how we would play in game one. So I wouldn't be surprised if we saw a lot more back and forth gameplay. And what a shot! Frizz! That is insane!
He was off of my camera and I have free fly. I can do what I want. I still didn't see him waffle all the way to the side and Frizz.
The dish!
You monster!
That is the dish done to perfection. 1-0, Taxi Bill. Wow! Try and follow that up, guys. You're going to have to anyway, as Godsmiller would like to try and put that in. The shot not strong enough, however. And that's just minute 1 out of the way. Frizz trying to follow up. Godsmiller looking for the backboard yet again. Still needs to get that a little bit more powerful. It seems like when Godsmiller takes to the air, he's hitting it towards the bottom of his car and not quite making enough contact. So the power isn't there. The opponents have more time to turn around and take the ball away. Al Dente can take the shot. 2 players committed. And that is the repercussion.
I love this. You can see McLovin bail the moment he sees Waffle on that. He knows he won't beat him to it. And Waffle, instead of clearing it out mid, puts it to the other side where Al Dente was patiently sitting and waiting. McLovin was just security at that point.
Absolutely.
Just in case.
Nobody is going to complain when that ball goes in, especially the players on PLACEBO.
Tied up.
McLovin tries to bounce it off. He's actually managed to catch Frizz out. Al Dente can take his time trying to catch out the pre-jumping Waffle.
He tried.
Now Didris, we've seen him pull out some incredible plays in game 1. Can he do it again in game 2? As McLovin just taps it on, pretty much taking himself out of the play. That might offer some passing opportunities, but players are just so far back right now as the block almost rattles straight in. Almost paying the price for playing too slowly. McLovin can't get to that ball either. Didris goes for the infield pass. Waffle all the way up. Frizz gonna come through. PLACEBO really need to get themselves some boost right now. They need to start ramping up the gears because they keep playing this slow. They are going to get caught by these infield passes.
They were running low, but finally they were able to push it out, reset a little bit. Godsmiller retreating back.
Just more and more playing the ball to the blue side. Everyone from PLACEBO playing behind the ball. Demo, Godsmiller taking out Waffle. McLovin going to try and go for the setup. Al Dente with the shot, and it goes in. Incredible coordination.
Yeah, and by then they had almost no boost. Waffle got demolished. He was the only one that had anything. He had 78 boosts to his name. His teammates both had 10 or less. Pretty lucky, I guess, to take out the one dude that could do something about it. But he was sitting in a prime place to try and do something about it, so I guess it was a little more obvious.
I feel like the main thing we need to focus on in this game is just how static these defensive players are being, and that leaves them so open for these sort of plays. The infield passes, off the backboard, going for a demo. They need to keep themselves moving, and that can be so hard to do as Godsmiller wanted to go solo. Didris. Not a chance he's getting to that, but once again, Al Dente takes his time, maybe respecting Didris too much. There was the potential there to get dunked through and had the ball go straight past him. Now Waffle, redirect, almost puts it into the top corner. And it'll be the woodwork that saves Placebo, but the offense belonging to Taxi Bill so far this game. You know they would have liked their third to come through, but Frizz just couldn't get boost, and even when he went back, sort of struggled, also missing the ball, so Frizz a non-factor of the last 30 seconds or so. And Didris can't go and get that boost because Frizz just went and took it.
They do have some. All of them have just 50 plus. So Taxi Bill not in too much of a threatening spot yet to deal with forcing it out of the half, but they seem to have done it anyways.
Minute and 25 now. McLovin wants to tap down. You see him being the main player that would sort of hold forward for Placebo. The problem is that's not really all that useful when you've got two players playing so far behind. Waffle too far forward as the third man that time around. Can do some damage. Didris, that's a poor touch from him. Gonna open up space for McLovin, who can go for the set. Gets enough done. There was two players in the corner there for the orange team. Needed to get something solid to come out from it, and McLovin does deliver.
You can see the last two times that Taxi Bill may have had some sort of close opportunity. They're just a little bit too up. Cheating up just a little bit too far. Maybe they're antsy. They want to tie this game up.
Oh, McLovin can go for this. A little bit too slow. They're not going to be too concerned about that right now, however, as they head into the final 40 seconds. And if they've been playing defensively beforehand, I don't want to see how they're going to play heading into the final 30 seconds. I don't think they can really total up much more than they were. Only really committing one player forward, but if it does get you the going, then who am I to complain? Frizz gets bumped, will not be able to take control. McLovin playing off the backboard. Didris, that's really wasteful from him. He already knows that there's going to be two players back there for Placebo. No need to smack it long. The Placebo have done a really poor job of working with this, and they're going to be the architects of their own demise. There was no need to make it this difficult.
Al Dente had literally zero boost when that went up, and I think his two teammates figured, hey, you're the one in net. You've got the best angle on this. You can do it, but no communication about who did or didn't have boost. And with 8 seconds left, Taxi Bill will punish.
Didris's flailing touch back into the blue side suddenly starting to look like the most genius move of the series. As we could be heading to our second overtime of this series. Carpet, hopefully no kickoff this time around.
We'll see.
For your sake.
Nope.
Well, okay, everything here is good in your opinion.
Yep.
Absolutely.
We're solid. We're doing good, boys.
Al Dente tries to get McLovin. Couldn't quite make it. Going to be required yet again to take over. Playing the ball up the wall shouldn't be too difficult as Didris powers the ball back aside. Godsmiller didn't really get too much there. Didris playing the ball back over to the middle. Al Dente can take his time. Almost took a little bit too much time there as got blocked. McLovin now. He's got Godsmiller.
Nice
Might
solo.
not need him. McLovin is one of those really top ones players out there. He can do so much damage. That shot almost did some damage as well. So we headed 50 seconds now done in this overtime. Still all tied up. Al Dente can't reach that one first. Didris over to Frizz. He pips that one. Now Frizz can try and take this down. He's got options. It's going to be very difficult, but Godsmiller is there first. That's what I like from Godsmiller. He took himself to the side rather than being behind the ball, allowed him to keep coming towards the ball with some momentum.
Just over a minute. Be very wary of boost control at this point. Making sure that you snag as many as you can. Frizz and Waffle taking side and corner. Didris over to Waffle, but Al Dente will body block it.
Placebo need to be so careful right now, not allowing these infield passes to keep succeeding. There's going to be an attempt, but McLovin can't get there. Waffle will take this, and we are now 1-1 in games.
Frizz saw the opportunity the moment he landed. He figured, I'll go for the bump. Takes McLovin out just in time. and it will give them the victory here, tying up the series.
He barely caught him. McLovin's car did merely a small jump with like the backside of the car. The front didn't even move.
It's a little fender bender.
Absolutely. Doesn't matter though. Taxi Bill take the win, and PLACEBO are starting to get punished now for this defensive style. They are being looked for. Those infield passes are being made much more use of, and now we see the bumping plays starting to come out. They've got to start spreading out. They've got to up the pace, because now Taxi Bill are going to start laser focusing on those.
You mentioned a little bit of static play coming from both sides, but PLACEBO especially, and that's when you're going to see people just, they don't even intend to want to bump you, but when they're starting to steal your boost and retreat and they notice you're just not moving, it's almost like a magnet. It's like, why wouldn't I?
It's like, I'm going back, I see you.
Yeah. And you just get bloodthirsty. You want to get the demolition because they're just such an easy target. And generally, you know, everyone's so focused on the ball and their players, especially when this much is on the line, they're not as often listening for the demolition until you do 2 or 3 successfully. Then they'll be a little bit more privy to wanting to jump over you when you're trying to hone them down. But the first couple, they're almost always caught off guard.
Absolutely. So, 1 each now. This is yet another close series. Europe delivering once again. Both teams have shown good parts and bad parts. This is now going to be a series mostly dictated by who can start fixing these small mistakes and start playing to a more confident style.
They got the passes, though. I mean, it's definitely looking for each other is not a mistake we've seen at all.
Yes,
they're definitely doing that.
Passing plays are only really a mistake if you make it too telegraphed and they can come through and be intercepted. Oh, that could be a big mistake as Godsmiller takes the ball first from the charging defender.
I think I should have worded myself better. I meant not looking for each other is a mistake.
Yes.
Not a mistake that we've seen yet. And there it is again, right off of kickoff. That was a little bit more difficult to deal with as far as kickoff shots go. That I don't know if I'd consider that a particular mistake, but getting caught off by a shot a little more powerful than you'd expect. No one there to contest that, so he had the time to make what he needed.
Well, it's not game winning. Not yet, anyway. As Waffle wants to drop the ball straight down. Frizz with the ball all the way up. It's going to be McLovin taking over, powering the ball back over to the other side. It's going to be a quick question mark now for PLACEBO. How are they going to play with a 1-goal lead?
Drop down on target.
Seems to be something they've tried twice now in this game. Taxi Bill starting to vary up their passes. They want to go long and try and tap down. It's going to be a hard play to go for. Godsmiller going to lever another one. That could go bar down, but not quite. Al Dente can take the shot once again, hitting the crossbar. That's 2 goals right there that really should have gone in. And Taxi Bill have got away after some very lax defending.
And they can't really breathe. McLovin just reading that off the backboard. But I love the way Taxi Bill are looking for each other. They're always opting for the wide pass across field where their teammate is rotating back.
Well, once again, off the crossbar, Didris can take the ball over. Wants to try and chase. Effectively now taken out of the play. He's going to be out for about 10 seconds or so as he tries to rotate back. McLovin taps up. Got a little bit too much contact there, though. In order to go for the tap and smash, was unable to do so. Al Dente can't get the ball in the corner. Still PLACEBO starting to hold on to that midfield, taking those 2 mid boosts and not offering many options to clear. Frizz, though, creates his own option, and his option is Frizz, dribbling it all the way back down to the blue side. Now we switch. Taxi Bill on the offense. Can they squeeze a goal out from PLACEBO? McLovin, though. So we go back down to the other end. How long is this going to last? Doesn't look like long, because Frizz gets a good challenge. McLovin's played the ball straight over to Didris. Passing play yet again opens up enough space. They can move back down to the other side. We're starting to hurtle towards the halfway point of this match. Mistakes are being made. McLovin has to come in and do janitor duty, cleaning up after his teammates.
Only 6 shots total this whole game. PLACEBO with 4 and Taxi Bill with only 2 shots. It seems like they've had a lot more as far as what looks like could become some sort of advantageous position for them. Oh, but that drop over the 2 of them. Waffle left all alone. The wall of Waffle.
It was 1 game, okay? We can't expect it from them every single time. Didris gonna leave that. I think Waffle wanted it as well, and Frizz took it away from him. But Frizz, big block there. Al Dente in the correct position to take it away. Pace is definitely slowed down, but that will suit PLACEBO much more. as they still hold on to the lead. Godsmiller taken out. Frizz also taken out. Not going to have too many knock-on effects, however, as Frizz wants to try and get it down. TaxiBuild needs to create something right now, but they've got so many players behind the ball. There's not really passing options. Instead, there's demo options. Waffle will take the credit, but Didris made the play.
So far, we've seen bumps and demos being a pretty pivotal part. Al Dente just barely getting nicked by Didris, but he was at Supersonic, got the demolition, wide open net for his teammate, tied up, minute 46.
Yeah, but if you're going at Supersonic, it doesn't matter where you catch the opponent. It will be a demo. It's 100 or nothing, effectively. Frizz wants to try and put in that second, but the important thing for TaxiBuild is they managed to get that goal back, and they managed to do it without putting themselves in too much of a tight spot. Waffle, good challenge, might be able to follow it. But Godsmiller already there, taking now past. Everyone's starting to rotate back. I don't think TaxiBuild want to be caught out yet again with too many players forward. As Waffle's going to look to try and chase. Very difficult to try and cause anything in the corner. He ends up whiffing.
No,
Maybe
just trying to bully. Yeah. Just trying to get in the way, but his teammate was there. This is actually not a great spot, but McLovin gets bumped.
Just trying yet again. Al Dente was the target man. Couldn't quite make it. Now McLovin, the previously bumped player, has to rotate back. Isn't able to get there. Didris off the crossbar, and Al Dente gets a save that I don't think he knew anything about. Frizz this time puts it to 2-1, and PLACEBO have dropped the 1-goal lead, now found themselves behind.
Finally able to push through after what must have felt like an eternity for them. Frizzish putting it just over Al Dente, who had, that's right, 0 boost.
It's becoming difficult for them. PLACEBO weren't able to capitalize on the amount of time they had in the offense. They weren't able to grab the boosts. And it meant that as soon as the counter came in, especially after McLovin was being bumped for as long as he was, they had no options apart from flail and hope that it all worked out. Now 35 seconds remaining. They've got to find a way back. Frizz wants to find Didris. You see Didris doesn't even really commit too hard, just wants to offer the option. But do not expect TaxiBuild to jump unless needed. Godsmiller by himself. Puts it all the way out. Frizz with the infield pass. Didris was the target yet again. They're not taking the early shots right now, our TaxiBuild. Even with this goal up, but still, time running out. They need to find something from somewhere. Godsmiller is completely out of boost, though. He will not be the target. McLovin needs to take this all the way by himself. He cannot do it. And TaxiBuild are on match points.
Guys, that was only game 3. That felt like a game 5.
That was the 8th game of the day.
That was game 3. TaxiBuild keeping it, again, still only a 1-goal game, and look at how close the shots are. So close they're even. That's how close they are. Literally the same shots on both teams, the same saves on both teams, the same assists on both teams, but not the same goals. TaxiBuild are able to pull it ahead by a single goal. Very close games. I expect to see another game 5.
Absolutely. I mean, if you were to put these two teams in any other tournament, you would expect to see something completely different to what we see right now. But it's their place in the rival series. Some of these teams, they've got this close. They know how hard it is to qualify with this tournament structure. So this might be as close as some of these guys get if they don't make it today. So it's a different mentality you bring to these matchups. There's a different game style you bring to these matchups. You play as safe as possible, and you go for creativity when you can, not because you should.
So now TaxiBuild, they're on match point. They needed a single victory now to put themselves as the second rival series team to qualify so far for the European side. Today, I should say, because it's only been today for Europe. What are you thinking? Do you think we're going to see some turtling? We saw a little bit of that in Series 1.
I don't think TaxiBuild is a turtle team, to be honest. I think, if anything, TaxiBuild will go 2 goals up and then continue to do too much offense for me. PLACEBO, on the other hand, they need to learn how to incorporate that 1-goal lead that they have, because they've got it so many times, but they haven't quite been able to really attach a second goal on top of that and make it really safe. Instead, they sort of change their playstyle a little bit too much, go defensive, and it offers TaxiBuild the opportunity to move forward. So, game number 4. We're going to be on Utopia. Godsmiller going to put the ball all al dente. If he can create something here, it'll be incredible. Almost did as well.
Still, though, I like the idea to put it around a defender. Now McLovin, can he carry this? Just not to the best spot.
Any spot that isn't in your net is still a good spot in the rival series play-ins.
Very true.
McLovin Doesn't get a great amount on that, but Godsmiller wheel locked with Frizz, means that Frizz can't get too much contact on the ball. Al Dente beat by the bouncing ball. Now Al Dente once again gets an extra bit of contact. Not the contact he wanted in Waffle. Really wanted to try and lever that into the top right-hand corner. Couldn't make contact well enough. So a mistake goes unpunished. Now Frizz down to Waffle. Once again, not great. McLovin, he was definitely in the sights of Waffle right there. He was thinking about going for that demo. Instead opting to move back for the defense.
That's not amazing.
Something isn't right now. Neither of these teams wanting to push the boat out too far. Taxi Bill having the majority of the offensive play. PLACEBO needs some boost. Godsmiller tried to take his time. Now that boost has just spawned up behind him and Waffle's taking it away. McLovin also leaves that. Didris has taken the other boost. I note these because this could come in handy now. There's a possibility that PLACEBO is boost starved. You can see how little they are moving right now. We can see McLovin being forced to use that backboard, and he's done such a great job powering it back over to the orange side. That will allow his team to start breathing.
Yeah, that was, you were entirely right, Shogun. I think there was 20 boosts, 10 boosts, and 11 by the end of that clear. But that clear really bought his team enough time just to pick up a couple pads and make them a bit more of a threat on the pitch.
Now Frizz can't get it past McLovin. Waffle, he has got Frizz to aim for, but Godsmiller tried to get up as well. These passing plays, the ideas have been correct so far from Taxi Bill. The execution, not quite as good, however. Now Frizz, off the backboard, looks for Didris once again. Waffle, he's got the opportunity to go for the shot, puts it low. Wanted to see if Al Dente wanted to pre-jump. He didn't. He kept his composure, and it was a save for Al Dente. Still 0-0. Half the game left to play. We have seen overtime after overtime. We've seen close game after close game. And sometimes it just takes that little bit of magic to take you through to the rival series. McLovin, can he provide it? Puts it over to the corner, an attempted bumping play on Didris. That was actually Frizz, I should correct myself. Did very well to not only avoid the bump, but also able to come through and clear the ball with power. Oh wow, Waffle is... I believe he's become the lethal Waffle that we were talking about earlier on, taking out two separate players, but unable to capitalize.
Still, it did force him to reset a bit, slow it down. They're not going to be up for any passes, at least, so you know that if they do a clear or anything very hard across the pitch...
They're aiming for this!
They really are.
Frizz has just got target in sight most of the time. Still, they haven't really turned it into anything just yet. Now Dente wants to put the ball up high. Didris, no, he wanted to try and take the boost as part of his pathing, but wasn't able to. Coming close to the final minute. McLovin, all the way over to the corner, can't make anything happen. Al Dente now, trying to take it to the side. McLovin, aim for Frizz, couldn't quite get him, still might have taken him out of position. It's gonna go in! And the knock-on effect means that Godsmiller can get a goal.
McLovin going for Frizz here was still all it took. He wasn't able to reset himself enough. He was too far net by the time this ball came through, and Godsmiller is able to support his teammate after the attempted bump, and now a single goal.
I don't quite know if that shot from Godsmiller went in through physics or just pure will alone. He managed to destroy the post.
He just thought hard enough.
It's the same way as when you go bowling and you sort of shake your hands to left and right to try and guide the ball. That's exactly what he did there. Now 45 seconds. PLACEBO, if they can hold on here, we will go to game 5. Godsmiller with a shot, rifling into the body of one of the cars from Taxi Bill. Off the backboard, Didris unable to get there. This could be 2. Godsmiller, double commit from him and McLovin.
Oh, this could be it.
3 versus 1, but 2 players commit to the same ball. So wasteful from Taxi Bill. That was their opportunity to get in. They didn't even create a chance from it. And now they have 15 seconds to put something together. Frizz's touch, not great. Goes to the side, going to try and use the wall. But McLovin hounding him, wants to get nice and close.
I like that.
There's Godsmiller. Can't quite get it, and there is Didris to clear the ball over to the side.
2 seconds, he's going to put it on to target. 2 going for it. The pinch keeps it alive. Can they get underneath it? Waffle took just a bit too long to reset himself, and it will hit the ground. PLACEBO will tie the series up. That's another game 5. That's another game 5, Shogun.
That is. Carpet. we have ourselves a real match. Once again, Placebo able to hang on. Incredible plays. The bumps are just... It can't be more obvious that that's the game plan right now. And it's working to varying degrees, but it worked to get the single goal, removing Frizz from a good position. I mean, we see it came over the top of him. He's got to land and then jump back up again whilst he's already got closer to the ball. Just not going to happen. It's not Frizz's fault. It's the fact that he was being aimed for that made all of that happen. So there's going to be no criticism on him. But the slow pace of this matchup, we're not seeing end-to-end, we're not seeing incredibly fast passing plays, is resulting in these these bumping plays end up happening. It is incredibly dangerous, and I feel like if one team might need to blink now and just go, we need to avoid this, we need to go 100 miles an hour.
I mean, just to talk about how close these seeds really are and how accurate this was, you look again, they're a single shot apart from each other. I believe it was a single save away from each other and a single goal away from each other again. And the game previous, everything was equal aside from the single goal that separated them. So it's always as close as can be. We've seen overtimes. We've seen everything there can be. Will we see another kickoff goal, Shogun?
I don't think so anymore. I think the stage is too big for that. But I agree with you entirely. Shout out to the seeding team. You've done a phenomenal job to have these two teams this close. They do a great job every single season, but it's now time to separate them. Both of these teams can now look up to the stands, see the banners, and see maybe one day we can get our names up there as world champions. This is the first step to that, winning this match. Godsmiller gets his shot blocked by Frizz. First goal is going to be absolutely crucial. There was only one goal in the previous match. That's how crucial it could be. Only takes one to win. Al Dente puts it up high. Godsmiller, he's thinking about it. He might have been caught out of position. He came too far forward. Not able to get a great touch. Now McLovin. Struggling a little bit. That hitbox on the front of the Venom is just a little bit smaller, so getting the clean hit and the powerful hit down to the other end of the field is just that little bit more difficult. Back down now to the orange side. Godsmiller over to the middle. Has he got people to aim for? Yes, he's over to Al Dente, who's played over to the corner. There was a setup man. McLovin was waiting over in the middle of the field. The pass just not quite working out. Waffle shot. Saved by Godsmiller. We're now over in the corner. Godsmiller has got options, but he instead chooses to try and play it safe. He's actually managed to take out Didris. Low boost from Godsmiller. He's still doing well here. Shot from McLovin, though. Just not enough to trouble Frizz. Still that slow pace.
Yep, one
that
shot
we saw
apiece
from the last game.
One shot apiece for each team, one save apiece for each team. Slow pace.
0 demos so far. That's the surprising part.
That's true. They've kept the movement, though. It is a lot harder to hit somebody. Well,
there we go.
There we go.
I love it when we say things. Waffle winning the challenge. He's now going to start aiming for Al Dente. Now that game plan is starting to come through.
Frizz.
Didris just too close. Never quite liked it when the man that is waiting for a pass is always waiting on the same side as the passee, because the ball's always going to the opposite side. So why not wait on that opposite side and wait for the ball to come onto you? Long ball, Godsmiller going to be forced to save. Heading into the second half of this game very soon. Still, 0 goals apiece. In our final match, the tie-breaking game of this upper bracket finals.
Taxi Bill just trying to gain ground, essentially, with every single touch, pushing it up and high, making sure they can't get those hard clears, or at least making it more difficult, forcing them to use more boost to get up in the air as well. Trying to gain ground and control. Demolition again to just keep it in their possession.
Godsmiller, he's going to find McLovin. That's way too much angle. McLovin would have basically been trying to set up for Al Dente yet again. Now Frizz going around. He can keep taking this by himself. Didris can't turn around, and now Waffle is going to be the final man. McLovin charging forward, up and high and loose and available. Al Dente will be the first to claim.
They both went for it.
Going to go to the other side of the pitch. McLovin tasked for taking the shot. Lead goes to Placebo.
They were both so late to that, and they both still decided to go for it. I'm so surprised. Maybe they felt too much pressure. They really, really wanted to keep it in their opponent's half, but they just threw that away, giving Placebo the leading goal in Game 5.
It is time to really switch on right now if you are Taxi Bell. Such a great series from them, but they've got to find a way back. McLovin and the rest of Placebo, they've been in this position before. They've had leads, they've dropped them. The possibility is there. Godsmiller beat. Frizz follows. He's going to try and take it past. Al Dente does win the ball, however, and now Godsmiller is a target man, pulling the ball straight out. They're going to play the ball over to the corner, and now Godsmiller and Al Dente caught next to one another. Minute and 20 now. McLovin tries to take it past, is not able to. Godsmiller versus Frizz. Pretty neutral overall, but Al Dente is the shadow man. Can come through and help out his teammates. 1 minute now, Carpet. And if you're Taxi Bell, you're going to start looking at a team that is already been more than happy to turtle up and trying to figure out a new way that you can break them down.
They were doing such a great job of gaining ground, but I think they got too
carried away. Oh, what a save! McLovin coming in at the last possible moment. He leaps, he hopes, and he saves, but they are still not away.
You and the announcer think alike. What a save.
I don't like, because people already like make comparisons to me and that guy. I don't think I've helped my case here. McLovin, other end of the pitch, he's one-on-one. Frizz able to get there in time.
But he does keep it out of reach.
18 seconds. They still need that big chance. Waffle over to Didris. He's got Frizz to the side. McLovin once again, straightforward, no fear from him. Gonna go for the setup. Godsmiller can secure the win, and Placebo are effectively through to the rival series.
Taxi Bill had no choice but to push for this. Frizz needed to win that 50-50 in order to try and push it over to his teammates who were cheating upfield. But you're not going to push it back past Placebo. And it looks like they have all but sealed the deal for themselves.
Incredible series, our second Game 5 of the day. But the rewards will be going to Placebo.
They will be our second team to qualify for the rival series here in Europe.